What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another video here on the channel. My name is Tam, and today we're going to talk about the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle card game coming to the Universes card game. The goal of this is we're going to be breaking out and talking about each and every card from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle set in a large series called First Looks. I'm going to be breaking down and looking at every single symbol for the Turtles. And so, with that said, starting with the characters, we're going to go through each character, and it'll make sense as you watch YouTube, but so on and so forth. We got Michelangelo, the wild card, 723. We've got the air and good symbol, Brawler Mutant. Response: after your attack is blocked, your next kick, pizza, or punch attack gets +3 speed. So if my rival blocks, I make the next one very difficult to block. If they block that one, I make the next one more difficult to block. If they block that one, I make the next one more difficult to block. So kind of a, if you block, you better block the one that matters. And then enhance rivals turn commit. So turn them sideways. Add one ready foundation from each player stage to their hand, period. You get to pick on both. So on their turn, if they've got like this really oppressive card that you don't want them to play as a flow card, you can enhance, commit, lift that card up to their hand. As well as you lift your ready card up to your hand, and you can take and then block with that card. So you always have like a good block mod in your hand. A panic block, as you will. Or even, my rival's playing out their string and you think that they're done attacking and you can survive this last move. You commit Michelangelo and you add the foundation back to their hand and you go, I know what block zone I gave you, so I know to stay away from that one. As well as that piece was going to be really disruptive on my turn. That was a good disruptive piece that you had. And now it's off your board. You're going to have to reprioritize building that foundation back, so losing a foundation to play out of your hand, rather than building something else new and impactful from your hand. And so like a little bit of disruption from Michelangelo. I think this character has the potential to be really good. It's just going to take it's a really high skill cap, a skill ceiling to really showcase how good this character can be. I like it. I think this character is very cool. I like the aggressive leaning of 7 hand size, give a bunch of speed if you interact with me, but returning their foundations from the board to the hand is really, really annoying for them. It's super, super annoying. So I'm excited for it. I've got Superfly, Malicious Mutant. 6 hand size, 31 health character. It's got the all and evil. Excuse me. It's got the air and evil symbol as the mutant keyword. It says enhance : this attack gets -X speed or +X damage. X equals the number of foundations committed to pass the check to play this attack, period. This character I think is very cool thematically. I want to play these big, massive, meaty moves so that I can commit my stage and make these big, hulking, monstrous moves even scarier. Make them crazy. And then I also love the fact that he's a bad guy, and then when you bomb your checks, when you check a bunch of 3s in a row and you're committing a bunch of foundations in order to play out your attack string, he's going to be giving your moves a bunch of minus speed, taking advantage of your poor luck. Perfect bad guy. He hits hard and laughs at you when you fail. Incredible. Incredible design. And then response : after you take damage, whether it be from a blocked move or whatever, damage at all, add 1 scheme from your discard pile to your card pool. That card cannot be cleared from the card pool this turn. So, the cool thing about this is if we have a minus speed on the character, so partial blocking should be kind of easy. So I block, I use my 31 health, it comes down, it goes down, it goes down. I pile a bunch of schemes from my discard pile into my card pool. When my rival passes their turn and it gets back to me, they don't clear. So as we see later on in the video, we're going to look at these schemes and just see how relevant they are. We'll see. We've got the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. 4 hand size, 40 health character. Each turtle's got 10 health. It's got 4 symbols. That makes sense. air, all, fire, and void. The 4 symbols that are unique to each of the brothers. And then 4 keyword descriptors: brawler, champion, inventor, and mutant. Love it. How cool. Love that, love that, love that. Has a static on the character that says, if you check a 3 or less during your turn, you check a 4 instead, period. When this game was invented, the idea of making a control check was very similar to rolling a die. Our checks go from 1 to 6. This character says you can never roll less than a 4. Whether that is, I take the high risk, and on my turn, I put a bunch of 1 checks in my deck, so that when I roll the die and I rip the 1 off the top, this really powerful, potent, incredible card, instead of the 1, which is the punishment, I rolled the 4. Very crazy, like a crazy thing to do. Or just even taking and changing the math a little bit and saying that you can never check a 3 on your turn ever again totally changes how you build, what attacks you're opting to play. It just changes how you play on your turn so drastically. I think this character is one of the coolest characters that I've seen. His one downside is that he only gets to play with 4 cards every turn. So the puzzle, the mini game that you got to solve is, how do I get more cards, or how do I make these 4 cards as impactful as possible? Because you get bailed out on the check aspect. You're not going to be committing a ton of foundations. So that honestly means maybe you don't have to play a ton of foundations. I can play way more attacks than normal because on my turn I'm going to be slinging way more moves. I'm checking 4s. The issue with the character comes on my rival's turn, because it does say when you check a 3 or less during your turn, you check a 4 instead. So on their turn, we're a little soft in the middle. The shell's cracked a bit. I can then check my 1, 2s, and 3s. The dice rolling is no longer rigged in my favor. The fact that this character can't check 3s on your turn, the fact that this character has access to 4 symbols, the fact that this character has 40 health, I think this character is absolutely a character that everybody should be looking at potentially playing. I think there's a lot going on in this character, and that one line of card text, very slick, very simple, I think opens up deck building so incredibly much. One of the characters that I think that I could spend the next 6 months brewing and probably not find everything with. This character's very cool. And then lastly, we've got Wingnut, mechanical genius, 6 hand size, 30 health characters. Got the air and void symbol, inventor and mutant. Enhance once per turn, my turn or your turn. Change this attack zone to high. It gets +1 or -1 speed. So if it's my attack, it's going to get a little quicker. If it's your attack, it's going to get a little slower. And then response, after your attack deals damage. So after I hit you, I get to choose one of these 2 ideas. Build 1 tech card with difficulty 3 or less from my hand. So I take it from my hand, slam it into my stage, instantly is usable on the next couple moves. Or seal 1 rival foundation, period. Seal that foundation again at the beginning of my rival's turn. So not only do they not have it for my turn, I could selectively say that foundation doesn't work. It then goes back to their turn and they don't get it a second time. So I turn it off for the entire turn cycle. I think if you let Wingnut poke you down and get a bunch of chip damage in, she's just going to turn your entire stage blank, which is going to be incredibly annoying to play the game with. One of the boons that we have playing Universes is that all of our moves, all of our foundations do things, both on my turn and my rival's turn. The fact that Wingnut is allowed to just like kind of fly over that and be like, that one I say no, 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 and then on your turn it's no, 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 and then we get back to my turn and I hit you a bunch again and I go no, 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 and then on your turn no, 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 no. It's gonna feel like you're playing only half the game when it comes to what Wingnut Mechanical Genius has got going on. All right, so let's take a look at the air cards. Nice and easy in numerical order. We got Mikey's Nunchaku, 0-5, 1 low block. All of these cards have the air tune symbol. Weapon, response commit. After your attack is not blocked, it gets +1 damage. So my rival declares no blocks. I snap the nunchucks, hit you for an extra 1. And the response, Sacrifice Tenacious, after you add one or more foundations to your hand from your stage, draw a card, and discard a card. I love Mikey's Nunchucks. I think a 0 diff asset that snaps gives you +1 damage to like get over some small breakers, takes your even moves into odds whenever they get partially blocked, I think is really neat, to apply that extra +1 damage. And then with Michelangelo, which we just saw, after you add a foundation to your hand from your stage your hand, draw a card, then discard a card. If you don't like the foundation you have anymore, you can draw it and then get rid of it. Playable commit, like all of it just works. It all just works in tandem. I take it. I think this card's super neat. Is it a 4 of in every single deck ever? Nah, probably not. Is it even like a 3 or a 2 of? Maybe not. Maybe it truly is just a 1 of, even though it's like not unique. Because the lack of unique tells me that it's interesting. You get some choices here. From here we've got Dive, Bomb, Tackle, 5/3, 5 high for 5, 1 high block, Blitz. So whenever you play it, this deck gets +1 speed for each card committed to pass the check to play it. So playing this card first does not feel incredible, but playing this card super later feels very good. Feels really cool with Superfly, because Superfly has the ability of, after you commit foundations to play this move, it gets extra damage. This gives it speed, so this 5 high for 5 becomes now X high for X, with 5 plus X for every foundation you commit. So you play it third, you check your 5, you commit your 2 foundations, now it's a 7 high for 7. Great stat, great rates for being the third card that you played. I think this card's totally chill. 1 high block, pretty incredible. I think Dive Bomb Tackle is a good card in Superfly. I think it's a good common to be played like at your pre-release. I'm not sure it's being played pretty much anywhere else. From here, we got Flying Heel Kick, 4/3, 5 mid for 3. It's a 1 mid block. It's got the kick keyword, obviously. It's got kick in the name. It says response card pool. So not necessarily even during this attack, but any attack. Once per turn, after your attack is not blocked, your next attack gains Flash, which means that you skip the enhanced step. So if you choose not to block a move that I play while Falling Heel Kick is in my card pool, I get to zip the next one that I want. Whether it be like big stats or whatever, or as my rival has an on board enhance that they could possibly play. I think that's super neat. I think this one's super neat. Very fast move, but it's not hit very hard. It's a 5 mid for 3. I also like the idea of like the art of this one, of we are looking at a card which is looking at a phone in order to see the Flying Heel Kick. It's interesting, like the layers that the picture goes to. It's cool. From here we got Hang 10, 5/3, 6 mid for 4 with a 2 mid block. EX2, charge, kick. It says response, after this attack receives a speed bonus. If its speed is 10 or greater, draw a card and ready 1 foundation that has not been ready this combat phase, period. So this card is incredibly potent if you can figure out how to give it 4 speed and then continue to give it 1 speed on top of it. So it receives the bonus, goes to 10, I draw a card, I ready a foundation. And then if I can make it go to 11, I draw a card, ready a foundation. Make it go to 12, draw a card, ready a foundation. So I'm allowed to play this Hang 10 super late in my string, commit everything out for it, and then if I can give it a bunch of speed and then keep pinging it, I get to ready up my whole board again and draw a whole bunch of cards to then play an additional turn, an additional set of moves. This card can absolutely spiral out of control very quickly, but a bit of a build around. You got to figure out, how do I get this 4 extra speed besides the EX2 on face, and then ping it for a little bit over and over again. There's some easy characters that come to mind, i.e. the entire community is talking about Izuku Midoriya on the move. Whenever you switch to his Quirks Unleashed side, that guy gets to 10 speed very quickly and commits his board to do so, which then Hang 10 re-readies it right back up. A lot of scary stuff happening with this one. But I think I'm really interested to see what other characters can can give this the extra speed that it's looking for to fulfill this little game piece. I'm excited to see exactly what Hang can do. For me, we got our first ultra rare, beautiful looking card. Holy cow! An increased velocity, 4/3, 5 mid for 3, 2 mid block. It's a kick. It's a blitz. So when you play it, this attack gets 1 speed and 1 damage for each other attack with a printed 5 speed or greater in your card pool. So you play it late in your chain, and then it's not a 5 for 3. It's a 5 for 3 plus X plus X. So play it late in the chain. Sometimes like a 7 for 5 or 8 for 6. It gets pretty big. And the response after your rival plays a responsibility during this attack, ready a foundation that has not been ready this combat phase. Responsibilities happen all over the place, whether you play breakers or I play a move, you respond to I play an ability, give it speed, you respond to cancel it, I get to ready a thing back up. So a very cool way, again, to just like ready our board back up at the end of a string to then try and play one more move or like convince my rival not to play a move because, you know, I get to rebuild that board. From here, momentum shift, 4/3, 4 low for 4, 2 low block, EX2, blitz. Clear all cards from your rival's card pool, period. So they all go to the discard pile. This deck gets +2 damage for each card cleared this way. So I get rid of all the cards, make this super easy to block, but I stack up a ton of damage. Then response card pool once per turn. After your attack is not blocked, your rival spends a momentum. So I can play this card early as momentum shift to say, if you don't block my move, I'll spend the momentum, which is a resource your rival wants. Or I can play this card super late if my rival's done blocking a bunch of stuff, and I make up for all of those cards that were blocked. Or if somehow they've added and stuffed extra cards into their card pool, momentum shift is allowed to clear all of them and say, hey, you better have a low block for this one, or it's going to go for your whole life total. I think this card's fine. Probably nothing to write home about when it comes to this UR. Clearing all the cards from your rival's card pool without clearing your own is a little trepidatious, especially with how slow the base speed is on this guy. You're really going to want to have had Michelangelo's face on it, the Michelangelo response on it to work. So it's like a 7 low for probably 6 minimum because they had to block the move. So like 7 low for 6 4 diff, that's really good. Outside of Michelangelo, I don't really know what we're doing with this one, truthfully. From here, I've got Soar Above. It's a 5/3, 1 mid block, 4 high for 5. Powerful 2. Has a static that says when you try to block a low attack with this card, reduce that attack speed to 0. If you notice, it is a mid block, so if I try to partial block a low attack, its speed is 0. So very successful. I will easily block this move. I'm still going to take a little chip damage. And then Blitz. So when I play it, your attacks, all of them, get +1 speed this turn. So I play my Soar Above early, and then everything gets very fast. Very cool for the Superfly, because all of his moves are going to get a bunch of scaling damage. And so starting with Soar Above, to say they all get a little extra speed, makes it really worthwhile to play out these big long strings and make my rival not be able to block them eventually. But this card just being a 5 diff, 5 high for 5 probably feels pretty good. And I do like the block trick of if lows becomes hyper relevant, you get to block with this guy and take the partial off of it. It's cool. I dig it. From here we got Spinning Crescent Kick. It's a 5/3, 5 high for 4, 2 high block, EX3 kick. Response card pool once per turn. After your attack is not blocked, your attack gets +2 damage. I like this one a ton. I play this pretty meaty move. It's a 5 diff, obviously. It's a little difficult to play. It's a 5 high for 4, great opener that says, at any time that I want, if you don't block my move, I'm going to just guarantee that it gets the +2. Michelangelo's already saying, hey, if you block my move, I'm going to punish you. Now I've got this other move that says, this other rail of attack that says, if you don't block my move, I'm going to punish you. Do you want plus speed on my next one, or do you want plus damage on this one? That's the question for you. And the fact that it's like its response in the card pool rather than like during this attack or whatever, I think is really, really neat. So this Spinning Crescent Kick can just sit in the card pool and wait And then when they decide not to block something later, they have the choice. You get to slam +2 damage. And then from here, if you just got like extra spinning crescent kicks, you can respond to all of them all at once. I got 2 spinning crescent kicks. I just give +4 damage randomly. That's dope. That's really cool. From here, our next ultra rare, wowzers, we've got Superfly's Swift Dive 5/2, 6 high for 5, powerful 3, which says spend momentum to gain damage equal to the powerful rating. So 3, 1 momentum equals 3, charge slam. And then Blitz, add 1 rival foundation to its owner's hand. This card, very similar to Michelangelo's character, points at your rival stage and says, that one, I don't want it there anymore. Get that one back in your hand. That low block, it's no longer on your board. It's back in your hand. Hey, here's a 6 high for 5, powerful 3. This card, I think, could be seen all over the place. Selectively returning a foundation to your rival's hand is one of the most annoying things that you can possibly do in the game. It is bouncing foundations, which is the colloquial term for from stage to hand. Bouncing your rival's foundations is so annoying. So annoying. So annoying. It's weird that Superfly's attacks are on air when his symbols are all in evil. So Superfly's symbols are air and evil. Mega Mutant is all in evil. Easy to mix up the two. But man, I think this card is so annoying. If your rival has like some really potent continual on like stay in play abilities, this isn't going to be super good. Aptly wears the 2 check. I'm happy it's got a 2 and not a 3. Even if it was like a 6/3, I don't think that I would be here for it, man. I think a 5/2 is totally chill for this one. I'm in. I think 5/2 is where it's at for this guy. But I'm down. I really want to see what like slamming 4 of these and like 4 Chimera Krakens into a deck looks like. Right? Commit and freeze a foundation and then adding rival foundations to their hand. Just like absolutely dunk on them that way. Seems annoying. From here, I've got 2 slow. It's 4/3, 3 mid for 6, 1 mid block. It's got flash, so we skip the enhanced step, then charge. Responds card pool once per turn. After your attack is not blocked, your rival commits 1 foundation. So kind of a slow move, hilariously, for being too slow. But it does ask my rival a question of what do they want to do, right? Do they want to take 6 damage from this pretty low risk attack? It's a 4 difficulty, 6 damage move, which is like pretty decent stats. So if they do that, they then also commit the foundation. So this card is kind of begging for a block a bit. And it is blockable, right? It's a 3 mid for 6. So this one's just like begging for a block, which then says that like later on in the turn, your response card pool, if not blocks, become a little crazy because again, while it's too slow, it just works while it's sitting in the card pool. So you're not actually losing any value on it, which I think is pretty good. On to the foundations, we've got Above the City. It's a 2/5, 2 low block. Response: after you play this card, look at the top card of your deck. This includes when you play it as a form, so on your turn when you're like attempting to build it. It also works on block, so I block with it and then take a peek at the top card of my deck, which is very strong. And then enhance commit. This attack, mine or yours, gets +2 or -2 speed. I think this is an incredible speed hate card. Very, very aptly is worth the 2/5, 2 low block slot. Again, being able to look at the top card of your deck is just like a very, very strong thing to do in the game of universes. And so the fact that like you could do this both when you play it as an on your turn when you're building to guarantee your checks for your next build, or playing it on blocks to try and keep your health total nice and high is very good. From here, I've got Catching Air. It's a 1/5, 2 high block. Enhance flip. Change the attack zone to high, period. Great. If you don't have a ton of low blocks in your deck, just being able to take and look at just alternate into a high, make your high blocks solid. Makes sense. It's Wingnut's card. It's got, well, I guess it's maybe not is Wingnut's card just because she's on the card, but she is getting kind of tossed out of a car, so maybe not. Basically Wingnut's card though. Excuse me. From here, I've got Daredevil, 2/5, 3 mid block. When this card is added to your hand from your stage, this deck gets +2 or -2 speed. Absolutely is a Michelangelo card. I will enhance once per turn on my or commit. Lift this one. Your move gets -2 speed, and then I take the block with the Daredevil. And then enhance, discard a card, add this card from your hand. Essentially, hey, I'm gonna trade out this card out of my hand, which is not a useful block, to then pick up the Daredevil, and then with its own enhance, you then get to trigger the static on it for the -2 speed. Very cool. Kind of turns anybody into Michelangelo for this singular attack. Card's fine. I'm not sure it's going to see a ton of play, but it is neat to see that 2-card tactic with Mikey and Daredevil. From here, I've got Hold On Tight, 1/5, 3 low block, enhance flip. If this attack, mine or yours, deals damage, draw 1 card. So if you are hedging your bets of, I think that my move is going to connect, I will flip and then get an extra draw and get the bonus off of it. Or if you know that you're not going to block your rival's move, you can flip and get a better draw on defense. A bit of a risk reward of like drawing cards on my rival's turn is significantly worse than drawing cards on my turn. It's way harder to kill my opponent on my rival's turn. Or way harder to end the game on my rival's turn. But it is less confirmed that my moves will hit on my turn because my opponent has agency on whether they're on a block or not. I think Hold Tight is a totally passable 1/5 flip draw card. From here, I've got Scaling Heights. Love the picture on this one. 2/5, 2 low block, enhance : so no commit cost, no nothing. Your attack with printed speed 5 or greater gets +1 damage, period. If you have 11 or more foundations, your attack gets 1 speed. I think this card is kind of crazy if you're playing a very high speed, low damage deck, because you have the full agency over every aspect of this card. You know whether your moves are printed 5 speed or not to give the extra damage, right? Which are most printed high speed moves have a low stated damage, as well as if you have 11 more foundations. So if I go to deadlock, it gets +1 speed. Normally the way this works is if my rival goes to deadlock, it gets the +1 speed. If I just slam myself into having 11 foundations on turn 2, including triple Scaling Heights, I could just give all my moves 3/3 and I have 11 foundations. That's insane. And the fact that it's not even like a commit cost or like a committed foundation, it's just I press the button. Press the button, I'm just getting stats over and over and over again. I think this card is super, super cool and makes me want to look at what does a printed 5-speed air deck look like. Now Hang 10 is getting there silly. I believe Hang 10 is a 6 mid. Yeah. So Scaling Heights, I mean, this is how you get Hang 10 to that extra speed over and over again. If I've got my 11 foundations ready at my board, play on my Scaling Heights, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. I'm in. All right. From here, I've got Stunt Specialist. This is a 2/5, 2 mid block. You may sacrifice or destroy this card as though you were spending 1 momentum to pay the cost for an EX ability. So the cool part about this is a static, which means it doesn't actually have to be ready in your stage for its ability to be active and working. So I can take and play out my hand, and as I'm playing out these big long string, I can commit some foundations to pass some checks, including Stunt Specialist. And then when I decide to use the EX ability, I can destroy, sacrifice Stunt Specialist to make that happen. Very cool. Very, very cool. Next, I've got Swooping In, 1/5, 3 high block, enhance, sacrifice, which is destroy it. This deck cannot be blocked with cards with a block modifier of 3 or greater. So you gotta have a good block to block my move. Normally, the better card text or stats on a card, the worse the block modifier. That's one of the ways that it can help in balance cards. So like, if you know your rival has a Swooping In their hand, and you popped Swooping In, they wouldn't be allowed to block with it. It cannot be blocked with cards with block modifier 3 or greater, which is very. It's not very good on the surface level, but if you have known information, like I'll just use this example again, Michelangelo, right? I'm gonna put that ready foundation up into your hand. I know that it's a 3 block mod. I'm going to Swooping In and say you're not allowed to block with it. So I'll get the annoying piece out of the way, and then you can't block with that one. Feels like a cute little 2-card tactic. With that said, you are losing a foundation from Michelangelo, and you're losing a foundation from Swooping In. So, like, you are 2-for-1ing yourself, but 2-for-1 at the cost of my rival is going to take some damage guaranteed. Seems pretty good. And then from here, I've got Mondo Gecko, Righteous Reptile. Hair attuned card, backup secret rare, 3/5, 5 stamina, 0 mid block, which is heinously good. Has the ally, unique, and elusive keyword. First time we've ever seen the elusive key in the game. Says this backup cannot be attacked by the rival's first attack each turn. So backups already were a bit of a hindrance to target, because if I'm targeting my rival's backup, I'm actively not dealing damage to them to end the game. But because Reptile is so good, Mondo Reptile is so good, Mondo Gecko, Righteous Reptile is so good, I'm going to actively want to attack him. But the elusive keyword says that I'm not allowed to. Very cool, very awesome. Its ability says, enhance, this attack gets +X or -X speed, X equals its printed block modifier. The worse off your block mods are, the better you are going to be at slinging attack cards. Very, very potent stuff. And then the higher my rival's block mods are, the slower their moves are going to be. Wow. Just constantly +X or -X speed over and over and over and over and over and over again is so crazy. The fact that it has the ally keyword is also insane, because of the fact there's so much ally synergy in past sets that getting this guy out is going to be very, very easy. And so many moves are just going to have +X or -X speed for just almost no reason. And the response, after this backup is attacked, your rival commits 1 foundation. And that is on declaration. So the way that you have to attack a backup, instead of attacking your rival, is you declare that you're going to play the card, and you have to declare that you are attacking the backup before you make the control check. Before you make it. And so before that control check has happened, after this backup is attacked, my rival commits the foundation. Very, very good. Very, very good. They commit the thing. It's very strong. It's very, very strong. Especially with, like, you punish them and make them not want to attack it because of the response, and it's hard to attack them because of elusive. All in all, like, these secret rares are going to stick on the stage forever and ever and ever. They're going to be very hard to get rid of once they're there. And then last one, we've got Wingnut's Warning. 1/5/3 mid block, breaker 1, which is huge, and then tech. This says response flip. After you play a block, it gains breaker 1, which means that my rival's next card to play is a little bit tougher. Their check gets a little bit worse. So just having a bunch of these in my stage, I have all 4 of them. I play a block, I give my block breaker 1 4 times, and then their next check has -4. Or I can even just block with Wingnut's Warning and breaker 1 them. All in all, I think this card is really, really solid. One of the best 1/5s that you can possibly have in the game right now. If you have got the air symbol in your character, I highly recommend you picking up Wingnut's Warnings. This is one of the good ones. This is one of the good ones for sure.